Hey guys, this is Chris, executive producer of Under the Guise of Science podcast. Just wanted to say that every day is a new day for Charlie, and he forgot the settings, so he sounds like crap again on this audio. The content is still awesome, and Charlie's good at producing. He just is what it is. Enjoy.
I don't know what any of this shit is, and I'm fucking scared.
First, you're gonna tell me about this science stuff.
Sorry about that. What is a scientist?
You caught me like I'm experimenting with
science.
It's like magic with electricity.
I know that. I'm not stupid. I'm smarter than you.
The smartest scientists in the entire world all agree
Science is a liar sometimes.
Seriously, this could not seem less scientific.
Those idiots don't know anything about science.
it's science.
I believe it's pronounced science.
This is the least scientific thing I've ever seen. So I'm just experimenting with them.
You be quiet.
Thank you, scientist.
Did it go?
Yeah, we're
Yes.
back. We're back.
We're back.
Ooh, I added you as a producer this time. You got a
Really?
promotion. Let's see if you get any buttons. Do you get any extra buttons on your end?
No.
No?
Wait,
All
this
right.
is a button. Save to collection settings. Nah, nothing cool.
All right. Well, I tried.
That's all right. This is my first producing gig, so I'm excited.
Hey, get ready to do a lot less. I got a fresh new Bane tube and everything to say, under the guise of science. But we don't do it like that. It's better. There we go. Yeah, welcome to Under the Guise of Science. I am Charles.
I'm Chris, aka Churs.
Cheers. So just so everyone else can hear, I was struggling to figure out why the email wasn't going through to Chris just before to get the studio started, and I couldn't figure it out for like 5 or 6 minutes. Nope, still didn't get it. Checking the spam box, everything, and I just took a picture of, here's what I'm sending you, and he sent back CHIRS, and I was like, is this some kind of slang that the kids are using, or I forget what the other thing I thought was, but then I was like, oh shit, did I spell his name wrong? Look. And lo and behold, I wrote CHIRS. Churs.
Yeah.
Now, how did you picture Churs' voice in your head?
It's got to be some kind of Scandinavian, almost the Muppet Swedish Chef. Almost
so
there.
you heard like hi, I am Churs.
Yes, yeah.
I come to be a podcast guest tonight.
He's definitely good at chess. Shit like that.
I go to the Nobel Peace Prize every year.
Yeah.
Right, isn't it up there somewhere?
I think so.
All right.
Yeah. That might be. It might be Switzerland, or I don't know if it's Sweden or Switzerland or one of them.
All right. Well, I will
Probably,
either
yeah.
take your or my word for it.
Yeah.
I pictured Churs having more of a. How was it? It was. Oh, I am Churs. It takes me a while to get to the bathroom.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess less fun.
Yeah. Yeah, just in the way. Yeah, if Churs accidentally joined, I would hope it'd be the first one and the second one. Boot the second one out quick.
You guys are talking too quickly.
Did you send this email accidentally, or was I meant to be included on this conversation?
I have many opinions about antimatter and matter.
Like, you suck, Churs. Hang up.
Well, that's very disheartening. Yeah. That's Churs, everybody. Man,
Yeah.
dude, coming back from vacation is bullshit.
Yeah, I bet.
Oh, God.
You need,
Like, especially
you
if
need a
it's-
vacation after your vacation, huh? But you really do. Like,
I think at least this specific time, it's like, not that I don't have it pretty good, all things considered, but to be like 4 hours into work and just look around and just be like, is this really what I fucking do for a living?
Yeah.
Like, oh god, this is awful.
Yeah.
They're gonna be giving me money or some shit.
Yeah.
And they are.
That's the only. Yeah. Well, that's the only reason. Otherwise, what the fuck?
Like I work outside, and on extra cold days, people will be like, I don't know how you do it. And I just say, for money. It's the only reason I'm out here. Just to get paid.
And benefits. They cover my...
Yeah. Man, I remember hearing comedians joke about being older and talking about them bennies. And I mean, I knew they were talking about benefits.
Right.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, at the time, you didn't fucking need them because you didn't go to the doctor. It was like, you know, when you're in your 20s, who gives a shit what a doctor's for?
See, that's the benefit of, what's the word? Thinks I'm sick all the time. It's not agoraphobic. I'm not afraid of everything.
Oh, hypochondria.
Yeah, there you go. Borderline, paranoid, hypochondriac.
Oh, okay.
It's like, I got health benefits. I'm just going to go to the doctor for everything. Like, I've definitely got my money's worth out of it, too.
Okay.
Yeah, like there's people I work with that don't go to the doctor for anything.
If something was wrong, I did, but like for years I didn't get checkups. Now now I'm at the doctor, or my wife more accurately is at the doctor like weekly, just between one of the three of them or her herself.
One of the four, not hers.
one of the four that aren't me.
Yeah.
I go to the doctor, I just kind of drive myself. They stick their finger in my butt or whatever they're doing that day, and then I drive home in shame. Nobody's with me.
I really wished I had that procedure, that examination, finally done to me last year.
Yeah.
And the thing I thought of immediately was like, I was going to pull my pants back up, and the doctor's like, hey, and hands me a paper towel. He's like, so you can clean up. And in my head, if he was like, here, this is for you to clean up, you little bitch.
Or handed you like a 5
yeah.
to clean up.
This should pay for your cleanup.
Yeah.
I'll see you next time I'm drinking scotch.
Yeah. This is supposed to be an eye exam.
That's got to be a punchline to a street joke somewhere, right?
It is now, I guess.
Yeah, all right. Well,
we go on the streets. We out here, right?
Streets.
Yeah. I went we out here. You went Michael McDonald.
Oh shit. Oh man, this is coming out even better than it did in rehearsals this afternoon. I think we made a few good tweaks to the script in the right spot so far.
our rigorous show formatting.
The hell, Michael McDonald taking to the streets. Oh yeah, but street jokes. Whew,
yeah.
That's quick. Got out of hand quick. Yeah. So that video today, I was gonna, as a joke, just try to keep my eyebrows furrowed all day, just to say and not be lying. I just unfurrowed my eyebrows from watching that video that you sent me.
Yeah.
It was a lot. It was wild.
And it's like, it's there in the math. It doesn't make any sense as far as what you're seeing and experiencing in day-to-day life, but it exists in the math. And then the more that like it's been, well, let's take it from the top. The video is on the speed of light that I sent to you.
Yeah, it's called
it's
We All Move at the Speed of Light, which was already holy shit. All right.
Yeah. And Science Click, the channel that published, I don't know, produced that, or whatever channel. What's the word for putting something out on YouTube? That guy, the guy that did that, has a whole bunch of videos with very good illustrations. It's not like dumbed down by any means. He just tries to visually, yeah, exactly. But
it is not.
Yeah, no. But the idea that we're moving through space and time, like we forget that that's a dimension of the universe, time. So like you're sitting there still, you're constantly moving in one direction through time, because space time is one unit. It's not space and time, as we'll actually talk about during this episode. Einstein is like the guy that kind of figured that out or put that together. But as you're moving through space and time, you are moving at the speed of light, or more accurately, the speed of everything. It's just that some of your speed, well, most of our speed is moving through time versus space. We can only move through space at a very small fraction of the actual speed that a photon does. Photon, which moves through space at 100% the speed of light, doesn't experience time. It doesn't move through time at all.
And that's the two ends of the spectrum of this. It's photons are all the way at one end, where they don't experience time.
Yeah.
So is there something that doesn't experience space? Like, because we experience space, so wouldn't we be in the middle?
I don't know if there's anything. It would have to be something that is not moving through space at all, I guess, is the best way to, because it's you don't really experience space, you move through it.
All right.
Because we say experience time, but you're actually moving through time. You feel the seconds tick, and 1 second to the other. The light from the cosmic microwave background that escaped 14 billion years ago, whenever it was. It went through the entire evolution of the universe, watched the dark ages of the universe, the first hydrogen clouds start to clump together and form stars and explode and eventually form galaxies, and all these things merging and spinning and the space stretching, and 14 billion years to light. Once it hits your eye through the telescope, if you're looking at the cosmic microwave background, it was an instant. It's just boom. It doesn't move through time at all.
So I feel like if our podcast was an episode of Scooby-Doo, the owner of the haunted house amusement park, let's see who it is this time, and it's fucking cosmic microwave background. Every fucking time. Every time we pull off the fucking the space robot's helmet or the fucking ghost of the werewolf, it's that motherfucker.
It's always cosmic microwave background again.
Yeah. It's always him.
I've gotten away with it too for the YouTube drunk burnouts.
But man, that's because I kind of thought I had my head wrapped around it a little bit with like I was one of the things I got from it is you give me a second here. So the example was if you're moving quickly through time, you don't notice space moving? Is that what it was? Like the ratio of the one to the other?
Yeah, it's not moving through space quickly as us, basically. Like, even if we were to get in a spaceship and move, we're still moving at a tiny fraction of the speed of light. So on that XY axis, where X is time and Y is space, we're still mostly moving towards the space end of things, even as it elevates a little bit. So, like, you have to get to a significant portion of the speed of light before you notice any kind of time dilation, I guess.
And like the dumbed down, I think I have this figured out thing I came up with is, and it could just be complete misinterpretation. But anyway, if you're moving 10 miles an hour and you drive 10 miles, you get there in an hour.
Right.
But if you drive 100 miles, you get there in 6 minutes.
Yeah.
So, because you're moving quicker through space, time seems shorter.
Yeah.
Or is that just, or
it's a simplistic way of looking at it, but it's not wrong. It's the same idea that, yeah, the faster you get, the slower time goes for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucking great. I'm so glad that makes sense. Because I was like, this sounds right. It sounds like I think I know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, that the whole, like, so there's the part about the XY axis and the circle.
Yeah.
That represents time.
Basically, the limit of where the speed, or the because the line is constant, the speed of light is constant. So yeah, wherever you rotate along that circle, it's going to be the same distance no matter what it's touching. But yeah,
like just the whole bottom half of the circle being like where antimatter and all those motherfuckers on the wrong side of the tracks.
Right. Come over here, we'll annihilate you. Yeah, but that is a way, like, it's a weird way of looking at it, but it's almost like they're moving, like a positron is moving the reverse way of, or experiencing time in the reverse order as an electron, which is why the charge is different, because electric charge apparently arises from the change in phase of the particle over time.
Say that sentence again. That was a lot of words.
And I don't really get how, but apparently the electric charge of a particle, because different, like the electron goes through different phases, so to speak, which is just a word to describe from one instant to another what it looks like, how it's quote unquote spinning. It's not a real spin, but it's just a word to label something that it's doing, kind of. But over time, it goes through different phases. And as it experiences those different phases through time, that's actually where electric charge comes from. So because the electron and the positron have reverse electric charges, it in the math, this is, kind of not intuitively real, but in the math, the positron basically experiences time in the reverse order as an electron. And that's why it has the opposite charge.
Man.
It phases backwards almost. Yeah, it's insanity.
Like, part of what I was thinking also, that I feel like theoretical physicists are pretty much, they did the most homework, so they get to just make shit up. Like, they get paid to make shit up. It's like, well, we read more books than you, so we're gonna make shit up. Like, I guess they did read all the correct books, so they know what they're talking about.
And I have a desk full of equations. Come at me.
Well, unless there is a new brand of snack called equations, I cannot compete with you, sir.
Yeah. I mean, it's
baked equations now with 100% less facts. Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you. Woof. See? I was like, oh no, I'm not going to be good tonight.
You always, yeah. Stop it. Stop with the self-loathing. Not loathing. Self-loathing. Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Was there anything else in that video I had a question about? I'm definitely going to have to watch it again.
Yeah.
That's for sure. There was several times. Oh, so like I said, I was going to try to listen to it a little bit while I was doing something else. And I got 30 seconds into it. And even with kind of glancing down at the screen, it was just like, no. There's too many things. I can't write my name while I'm listening to that.
I think I even said to you the language is not easy, but it's at least they have a visual, so you can kind of like look at something and put it together. I like on that channel, he always tries to put in real world examples, and his real world examples are always like, I don't know, this apple falling from space, and it's like, that's not an example of something that I could deal. When would a motionless apple be 100 miles above the surface of the earth or whatever? I don't know. I guess they try their best.
Well, they're good at physics. They're not good at pictures. So main difference between I don't know if this might be a tough question. Theory of relativity versus special relativity.
Two different. Einstein has two different. So let's talk about the episode. Let's take it from the top. This episode is dedicated to Albert Einstein, or at least going to talk about some of his shit.
Alphonse Einstein, I believe was his
Senor. Yeah.
Signore. Signor Alfonso. Alfonso. Honest. Oh, what is that? It's probably just a bunch of C's.
Ernestino. Yeah.
Aracino.
Yeah, there you go.
Alfonso Aracino.
Legendary Italian physicist.
He actually switched sides 3 times or twice during the war. He was like, all right, I'm Italian. I'm going to join the Germans. Oh, no? All right, well.
Yeah, this was even a worse idea.
Yeah.
These Italians are bad. Let me join the Germans.
Yeah.
Fuck. That was
Fuck,
a huge
now they're
mistake.
the same team.
Yeah. Yeah. So there are...
Sorry,
no, that was
segue.
wonderful.
Perfect segue.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Couldn't even get past his name so far.
Dedicated to him. We didn't say if it was going to be, I don't know, informative. But just want you to know he exists.
Just put up a placard at the end of the episode dedicated to
Yeah.
Signore Alfonso.
We make fun of him in an Italian accent for 45 minutes, dedicated to Albert Einstein. Oh.
A mockery is nope, that's not the saying. What's the
serious
purest
form of flattery? Imitation.
Mockery? Imitation. There
Imitation.
we go. All right.
Yeah, that's a spot on Alfonso.
So instead of his big white hair, it's very, very slicked back to the parted in the middle. It's got a very thin mustache.
Ponytail like was it Silvio from The Sopranos?
He wasn't actually pasty. He was actually very olive skinned, but he put on lots of makeup to blend in.
To pretend. But he was smart. He was a smart guy. There are 6 things basically that modern physics are built on. One of them is quantum mechanics, and we've talked about that a little bit in other episodes. Quantum mechanics took about, I don't know, half a dozen people working on different things over time to formulate it all together, where it was eventually put together as one idea, and it was like, now it's a pillar of modern physics, one of the 6. The other 5 were written by Albert Einstein, and 4 of them were in the same year, what they call his miracle year. So
God
it's like,
damn.
yeah, no, he was a very important person to the field of physics and understanding, the way shit worked. And yeah,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, by himself. I mean, there was, to be fair though, there was like, I think 2 of them, or definitely one of his ideas was also independently discovered by 2 other people that had nothing to do with what he was doing. And it was kind of at a similar time. So like, it wasn't like he was the only one coming up with that, but some of the stuff, yeah, he was the only one coming up with it. So the first one was just around photoelectricity. Basically, he realized, or he was the one that proved that photons are like a discrete packet of energy and behave like a particle. Everybody thought it was a wave up until that point. It actually, going back to Newton, and I can't remember, he had like an arch nemesis, but there were 2 guys from back then that were like, they would slander each other in the science world and stuff like that. It was like, but yeah,
It was the Professor Chip Ahoy.
That's all he gets now is cookies.
Yeah. We're Newtons. We are classy.
Oh, I didn't make that connection when you first said it. There you go.
By the way, I don't know why you made him Irish too.
Chip
The word is,
Ahoy.
hello, I'm Chips Ahoy. Ahoy. I'm the Ahoy clan.
Oh, get out of my face, Isaac.
Get out of my face, you're good for nothing. Your equations are shite.
Timely, it's St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah,
Or
right.
was-
Well, we're just going to work our way around Europe because we're already 3 accents in.
Right. Oh, where was it? Newton's. Oh, okay, so Newton said
yes.
light was a light. Newton said light was a particle. The other guy, I don't remember, said light was a wave. Newton, being Newton, kind of won that battle early on, where everyone agreed with him. But then over time, people noticed that it was actually more like a wave. So that idea got adopted, and the particle idea fell out of favor. And then Einstein proved with the photoelectric effect that it was actually a particle. And I think that's what he won the Nobel Prize for. He didn't even win the Nobel for some of the other stuff that he came up with. But that was his first one. The second one was, I think it's Brownian motion or something like that. Some Dr. Brown put pollen in water and looked at it through a microscope. Mm-hmm. And when it's in the water, it just kind of moves around, and it seemed like it was Brownian motion. That's the name of it. But it seemed like it was doing it for no reason.
Brownian motion sounds like if they made a science-themed restaurant, like a chain. Would you like to try our Brownian motion this evening for dessert?
Ah, that sounds delicious. 'Cause I was thinking it also could be the name of an enema company. Go to CVS and pick up a brownie in motion.
It's just like the smoke shape of a person having just sprinted off is their logo.
But
perhaps for Super Brownie in Motion, it's just a full cutout through a brick wall. Actually, that's how you can tell how strong they are, depending on what wall they show the thing having. Balsa wood? Okay, that's kind of like, holy shit.
3 little
6 pounds.
pigs.
Yeah.
3 little pigs that straw, wood, and brick. The strength. It's guaranteed we're talking about fucking Albert Einstein's contributions to the universe. We're going to make it about poop.
Oh, nice. I'm surprised it took this long.
Right.
Oh,
Hey.
man.
So anyway, it seemed like the pollen moved randomly. Einstein proved that it was because of molecules. There were more molecules on one side than the other. So like atoms and molecules and things like that were an idea in physics, but not fully accepted yet. And it was kind of his experiment with that made all the other physicists kind of go, all right, fine, atoms are real, and accepted it. So he was important in that. The third one, though, that you just talked about, this was a game changer. This special relativity. So with special relativity, he invented the idea of space-time, that it's all one, and B, the idea that the speed of light is constant and that it moves through space-time at a constant speed. No matter where the observer is, you're going to see light move at the speed of light. But special relativity also says that depending on motion, like if you're standing still and someone is moving past you at 50% the speed of light, you're going to see things differently, where your clocks will run differently. Their clock will look like it's running slower than yours. It'll actually, because of the way light moves, they'll look compressed and you'll look elongated, and like different things like that. And it's all about being relative to each other. And that's where that video I sent came in. Just the whole speed of light constant. It's no matter where it is on that chart, it's going to be the same distance, right? Now, and this was kind of the backup for that. If you remember to high school math, remember Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So you got this triangle, right? Or not this triangle. You got this line, the speed of light that's moving along that graph as it's tilted up this way. If you draw the line down and then across, and you got basically a right triangle, that hypotenuse, that's where c squared comes in his fourth idea, E equals mc squared. Just the idea that,
Shit.
So, yep. So by using different maths to the square root, he noticed the relationship between energy and matter was always that constant level.
So that was like, he wasn't ripping Pythagoras off, right? Is that how you say his name, Pythagoras? Yeah. He wasn't ripping him off. He was just sampling. He just stole
it's like
that little tiny bit of it.
I guess somewhat. I mean, he used they used that in math, but I mean, the original equation wasn't E equals mc squared. The original equation was showing it was like divided by c, some L equals something divided by c squared. I forget what it was, and so many people worked it to show the difference between rest mass and mass of inertial mass or whatever other stuff. That there's different. But he eventually like kind of took all that work and that other people did based on his work and squished it all together and said basically equals mc squared. That was his paper that came later. But yeah, it's all based on that, or all coming from that a little bit. And he used the technique of Pythagoras, I guess you could say.
So anytime, jumping over to somebody else for a second, anytime Michio Kaku says he wants a formula that is 1 inch, right? He always refers, like, he just wants the most concise, precise formula to describe everything in one, like that. That's his goal.
Yeah,
is to be able to
put it on a coffee mug.
The world.
Right.
The world, the universe, the observable universe as we know it.
Yeah, I mean, so far the standard the equation for the standard model is like you could put it on a T-shirt, but it would be really, really small print, and it would be line. Like it's a very, very long equation, and that's currently our best understanding of stuff. But yeah, the goal, I guess, is to get a more eloquent equation that you could fit on a coffee mug or fit on a T-shirt, like E equals mc squared.
Oh. Make it brief, son. Half short, twice strong.
Yeah. That's right.
Call him a genius for nothing.
Yeah, he knows what he's talking about. But so he came up with all four of those. Einstein came up with all four of those in a year. They call that his miracle year. So, like, yeah, can you imagine? Like, he was a busy man. A lot of thinking and math.
Holy cow! Like, I don't even clean my car 4 times a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's busy changing the world of science.
Oh my god!
4 times in 1 year. But yeah, but like I said, special relativity though, to me that's the most interesting of the 4. And the thing about special relativity is all of that he came up with is in a hypothetical flat space-time. As we can see, space-time isn't flat. It's actually lumpy in a lot of spots because we have stuff, because we have big objects that warp space and time. So from there, Einstein came up with probably his greatest and most important theory, general relativity. And so general relativity now adds gravity to the mix. And, it describes everything. It describes how space or mass warps space, and then space, the curvature of space defines how mass moves through it. So it's like between the two that lean into each other, I guess. But it's been tested for over 100 years now, because it was early 1900s that he came out with this. So it's got to be around 100 years. And I mean, the things that general relativity predicted have been true time and time again. Even up until most recently, gravitational waves. It took almost 100 years to prove gravitational waves existed, but Einstein predicted them, and now we discovered them. And it's just like time after time, people have tried to disprove it or come up with something better, but it is the best theory of everything big that we have.
Oh, crow.
Yeah.
And I think the best visual aid I have of talking about how a more massive thing can kind of pull a less massive things toward it. And one of the many things I retained from the Bob Lazar documentary. Do you know about that dude, Bob Lazar?
No.
Graduated MIT, so he says, and worked at Area 51 for a bunch of years. Pretty compelling stuff.
Okay.
But they deny his existence, and his stuff's been wiped from. There's no record of him going to the school, going to MIT.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't remember all the details. But anywho, he said they were. What propelled the Area 51 spaceships is a gravity drive, and the way he explained it working is it's creating something so heavy, or as though so massive, like it can produce a mass effect in front of it, to the point where picture dropping a bowling ball onto a bed, and how the bed gives down. Unless you got one of them fancy fucking mattresses. but it drops down, and anything that's on that bed will fall towards it. Like the gravity will pull that towards it.
Right.
So, but the idea that spaceship has a propulsion system that just makes it seem like there's something that massive that it could just slingshot you across the universe.
Interesting.
Yeah. He's got a couple documentaries. Oh, yeah.
No, I wonder, but what about stuff near it? Because how massive is it getting that, like, wouldn't it pull some of the space around it?
I'm sure he explains it.
Okay. I'll have to check it out. Haven't heard of him.
Yeah, he's been in the there's news footage of him talking from like the early or mid 80s or something like that.
Okay.
And his story has been like identical the entire time. But it's very entertaining, if nothing else.
Okay.
I might watch again now that I know so much more about physics than I used to.
Yeah, shoot me a link.
I think it might be on the Netflix, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, I'll find it.
Old Netflix.
Sight gag.
Yeah, for those listening, Charlie flicked his neck. But
oh yeah.
Yeah, no, general relativity. So one of the cooler things about now discovering through special relativity that space and time are the same thing, or just, you know, a fourth dimension. Time is just a fourth dimension that we live in and experience and move through, whether we like it or not. But so general relativity says that the fabric of space-time is curved if there's a bunch of stuff there. What that means is through special relativity, everything kind of has like what they call a world line or a light cone, I think. But it basically means you can only move one way through time. You can't turn around because light kind of limits where you can, like the speed of light limits how far you can look mathematically. You have to like see it written out. I can link a video to explain because I'm not doing a great job right now. But but basically through special relativity, you can only experience time in one direction. And if you and I were to be moving through that in a flat space-time, our world lines, so to speak, would be parallel. They would never, that we would both just experience the march of time and space in parallel together.
Okay.
You can equate this through to walking across a field. Me and you walk on one side of the field from one to the other, and we walk in a parallel line. We're never going to intersect. We're going to start on one side of the field and cross, and we're not going to intersect. In a curved, if space-time is curved, it changes things a little bit. And you can think of it like this. You got to zoom way out and make believe that we can, you know, just span oceans and mountains and stuff like that without a problem. But if you start on one side of the earth and I start on the other side of the earth, and we both walk north, just straight north, eventually our paths will cross. Even if it's at the North Pole, if we're on complete opposite ends of the earth. Even though we're not walking towards each other, we're both walking in one direction. It's because the surface that we're walking on is curved. Okay. So it's the same idea in space. So if you're an apple that's in a tree, you're moving through time, even though you're just sitting in that tree. If that apple then breaks off from the tree, the reason why it's falling is because as it moves through time, its world line is curved towards the earth. So it's actually following that path through time to the earth. So it's moving in a straight line, believe it or not, through time. It's just that even time itself is curved.
So you have to be zooming out at this point and looking down on it like in Superman 2 when they're in the Phantom Zone disc where they're all just kind of flat. Like that's what you're looking at the world as. It's just like, oh, okay, it's just falling straight along that line.
Yeah, this is hypothetical. This is without any and it's not hypothetical. It's real. I should say it's simplified. It's exactly, you can, instead of take one of the dimensions out of space out of it just for, you know, ease of picturing. But yeah, it's you know, you got your two dimensions there. But one of those dimensions, even when they draw the graph, they'll take all three dimensions of space and just make that one axis and make time the other axis. But even as we're sitting here, we would be, if you were drawing our motion through space-time on a chart like that, the space axis wouldn't move, but the time axis, we're moving in a horizontal line straight across. We're always, so you're always moving in that straight line through time, but space itself is bringing you towards this big object and your internal clock to align with this big object's internal clock also, if that makes any sense there.
I think so.
Yeah. Here's one of the weird things that it is mind blowing. But because gravity isn't exactly a force, at least not as far as we can discover, that it is just the curvature of space time. One of the only forces is actually like the electromagnetic or inside the Earth, the amount of thermal energy that's being generated. When something gets hot, typically it expands, right? The Earth is constantly expanding under our feet because of the heat, but it's so big that it's dragging space down. So the expansion and the gravity counteract each other so that it stays the same size. Even though it's expanding, the space is contracting. It's expanding into contracting space at the same rate.
Holy shit.
But that expansion of the Earth is why we don't fall through it. Because otherwise, why wouldn't gravity pull us down too? It's because it's this big rock that's actually pushing up against our feet.
So that would be like if you're trying to, like, you have a balloon that you've made, and then you've covered the balloon with, like, concrete, and then the concrete is trying to push the air back out, and then while whatever
as you're blowing in,
and it's just, you're not strong enough to push through the concrete with the balloon, but you're strong enough to keep it from coming in any further. And then every now and again, volcano erupts. Pretty much, right? And
it's like a state of equilibrium until there's a spot where some kind of pressure exceeds the viscosity or the whatever of the crust.
Viscosity has been one of my favorite words to use in the last 5 years, just because it makes stuff sound gross.
Yeah.
You're not trying to.
And I think I used it wrong there, but yeah.
Oh, right.
I know what you mean. The viscosity of
Like if someone is like, have you tried the orange juice? How viscous would you say it is? I didn't want to say it at all.
Yeah. I was just going to say it's good. You made it gross.
I use a high viscosity toothpaste.
Yeah, it does. Why? Why would you do that?
I got a longer life out of my toothbrush. Cracking my ankle right now. I apologize.
That's all right. Ooh, that being said, can I give you one of my crackpot theories?
Yeah.
Okay. So, light moves at the speed of light. So if there was, say, you turn on a light bulb, it emanates out, and if you were to, trying to say this the right way, the light coming out, if you would have slowed time down enough that you could actually see the light moving, it would expand out in like a 3D sphere in all directions as it goes out. If you were standing in the room with that light bulb, once you're in the light, you cannot run fast enough to where you're past it, where that 3D sphere of light expanded out to. You know what I mean? You turn it on, the light's expanding at the speed of light. If you're standing next to that light bulb, you can't run faster than the speed of light to where now you're on the dark side again and the light didn't reach you. You know what I mean?
So, and it's kind of like it's already behind you. Like there's no way you can get past it. It's
other way around. It's already past you. Okay. If you're the one to turn on the light bulb and you see, like, even if you were to, again, slow it down to like nanoseconds, last a minute or whatever, as the light is now coming out from the light bulb and then bathing the room in light, let's imagine that, it's a window and it can continue going out. That light emanating out from the light bulb is moving at the speed of light. And once you're inside that circle of light or that sphere of light, you can't escape it. You can't move faster than the speed of light to get past it. Okay. So we just have to establish that. So now, a black hole. Black hole is when a star dies and it's big enough that it collapses down We know in the case of a neutron star that when that happens, it collapses down. The core is left as a neutron star, but everything else rebounds and it's a shock wave and it goes flying out, and that's a supernova. So all this stuff now from this explosion going out at the speed of light. In the case of a black hole, it collapses even further now. It collapses past the neutron star to where it gets smaller. There is no supernova. My theory is that there is. All this stuff goes down and it's decimated and it's just an explosion, and it's just all that's left is a shit ton of electromagnetic radiation that would expand out just like the light bulb at the speed of light in a bubble coming out. There's so much energy there, as we know, E equals MC squared. Energy is mass, so that amount of energy still has a ton of gravity. That's why there's a black hole. So space is being curved and flowing inward also at the speed of light. So you got this explode, just like the Earth. I was saying the Earth is pushing out, but gravity is pulling space in so that it doesn't expand. It's like an equilibrium. This explosion coming out can never actually come out because space is also contracting at the speed of light. So it's like an explosion or a supernova frozen in time, because again, speed of light, it's not experiencing any time. So we'll never be able to see that because it can never come out past the event horizon, because it can't, even light can't escape a black hole. So this explosion that obviously happens when a neutron star is formed can't actually radiate out. It just is a forever frozen in time microscopic explosion with enough energy that it warps space, and there it is.
So then it's not even like going to anywhere else. Like you're pretty much just like, it got looked at by Medusa and that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
Like it's just stone.
Yep. And it can never lose energy, because when photons lose energy, they stretch out. The contracting space is keeping it on that gamma end of the photon spectrum, if not further up with the higher energy. So it's just stuck there forever exploding.
Shit.
It's a crackpot theory, but I like it. I'm going to send that. Let's send that to Michio Kaku. Let's tag him in this.
Let's see what he says.
Okay. He's probably going to say, yeah, we know that. We knew that for 70 years. We're testing it. I'll be like, all right. Well, I didn't. You never said that.
Yeah. Either that, or it's going to be a paragraph of pleasantries and greetings.
Yeah. Thank you for contacting me. Yeah. I wish to inform you that your request has been submitted to... I love his delivery.
And then and then in a single line of type, it doesn't work because blank.
Yeah.
And he's like, God damn it.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Right. Could have said that from the get-go.
Damn it.
All right.
That is
That's
so much
crazy
stuff to know.
Yeah.
Like what he does, what any of them do. It's
and especially because like this is my good idea that I like, you know, when I'm sitting there by myself thinking about stuff and all these different videos I watched and put it together, and like you were just saying, he probably knows off the top of his head why that's wrong or not. Like just no, yeah, we already tested that, or already did, or you know, oh, I see what you're saying, and here's why it's wrong because of these other things that we. Yeah, it's just like
like
to grasp it.
To be able to do their, like every single idea starts out as, all right, well, you know this and you know this, right? Yeah, and you know this and you know this. Cool. All right, now we're gonna build up another level of a pyramid of those two ideas as one idea. You know that idea? Cool. All right, well now here's 2 and 2, and it's just now that you know all these things, condense that all into one thought that you have, and now add this new thing into it.
Yeah.
And it's
and simplify it so it fits on a t-shirt. The whole backs of giants thing that we talked about, like you need to know all that.
Nope, let's start from scratch.
Yeah, yeah, it's more fun.
Let's go check all their work.
I don't trust that shirts keep me warm. I'm gonna have to figure this.
All right, no clothes until we figure this out. Which coincidentally is how the guy that figured out that heat is kept in by shirts used to get chicks in college. I don't know. No shirts until we figure this out.
No shirts and push-ups.
Yes.
All right. Want to hear my favorite Einstein story?
I do.
Within hours of him dying, someone stole his brain. It was, it was like 7 or 8 hours after he died, someone took his brain, and they like cut it up and mailed different parts to different scientists to test. And like 20 years after he died, someone went to his office and found most of Einstein's brain in 2 different jars of whatever the fuck kept it in to keep them stable.
Why was it in his office?
I guess he was doing tests. The guy that was testing it, I think, passed away.
Oh, that guy's not Einstein's.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Right,
the other guys, yeah.
Man. Have
like
they tried?
He died, and someone was like, "Dibs," and there was like,
What if they take? All right, here's the next. Getting back to movie pitches.
okay,
Next National Treasure movie. They got to get all 8 pieces of Einstein's brain together,
yeah.
and that'll make a time machine.
Ah, I like it. That could actually be a good video game too.
Yeah, there you go. You
Yeah.
got eight separate pieces. I mean, it's probably years and years of Zelda, decades of Zelda that immediately
Yeah,
it's like,
but-
oh no, you got to put things together.
Yeah. But you have to
Item.
fight like famous physicists like Niels Bohr and who the fuck else? Some of
other
those.
physicists. Oh, fucking sprint for the punchline.
Schrodinger. Yeah, those are the bosses.
You do the backup guy on the podium's voice so well. Like the guy that says, "Who's?"
Yeah,
And there's
because I also enunciate like shit. So
see, I'd like to put those 2 asshole guys, but that are also smart. Those brothers that I was texting you about. The Weinsteins.
Yeah.
Yeah, or Weinsteins.
Eric
I don't remember.
and Brett, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'd like to. They would be, from a marketing standpoint, they'd be a good where you have to fight the 2 bad guys at once.
Yeah.
Kind of.
You beat one, the other comes in. You beat him, and you got to beat them both. 100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
I'm with it.
We're working on it.
Okay.
Oh man, what other evil physics? Do you make Oppenheimer evil?
Well, I said Niels Bohr because him and Einstein had like a famous debate, so there's some level of beef there. But I think Einstein has to be the main boss. Like he's once you go back in time and.
Oh, so yeah, that's what it is. You're gonna put these pieces together. There's a time machine. You get all the pieces together, and then it sends you back in time to fight Einstein.
Yeah.
Oh man.
To save physics. Because evil Einstein. Yeah, that's it. It's at the end of it. It's at the end of his career. Einstein wasn't a big fan of quantum mechanics. He even said God doesn't play dice with reality or whatever he said because of the whole quantum, chance of percentage of stuff here. He didn't like that shit. He didn't like entanglement. That was he called it spooky action at a distance. He didn't like those 2 things. So you got to go back in time to save quantum mechanics.
Fuck, dude, this is an awesome game.
Yeah.
Like this will work fine in 8 to 16-bit tops.
Yeah.
Nice side scroller.
Yeah, yes, I was thinking Castlevania side scroller style. This is yeah.
Yeah.
You're playing on your phone.
What's that?
You can play it
Oh,
on
you
your
play it
phone. Yeah.
I thought you were calling me out. Like,
no.
playing on your phone? It's like, no, my leg was itchy.
Whoa. Was that a half second you weren't giving me your attention? Get back here.
Now you know how it feels to be me all day long. Aren't you paying attention to me? Oh, you were just breathing. Okay. I'll allow it.
I wish I worked. Well, if I worked with you, we wouldn't get anything done, but...
No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, we did.
Yes. We did, and we had a gravity bong in the shed. So that tells you what that would... Oh, that was the best. The owner would be like, "Hey guys, we need some boxes. I'll go get it. We'd all go run to the shed together.
Fucking try to Three Stooges our way out the front door. Oh shit! And just cash in our pockets every night. Cool. Let's just gamble.
Yeah.
I'm working minimum wage, cash only.
Right.
let's throw it at each other.
Yeah, I mean, we'd walk, especially on like a Friday night during Lent. You'd walk out of there with a couple $100 cash.
Ooh, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. You would crush it on Fridays during Lent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, you know that's right. I think I only ever did it in the summer.
Okay.
So I wouldn't have had that. I remember you worked at a different one also, and
I had two pizza delivery jobs at the same time. Yeah, where it was pretty sweet, especially because the other one I was there longer than the one I worked at with you, so I was kind of like the elder statesman of the delivery guys because I had a year and a half experience or whatever it was.
Excuse me, delivery man.
Yeah. So on Sunday afternoons, I'd be the only guy there. And Sunday afternoons during football season was pretty sweet. So I'd make a decent amount of money during that time too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, those were the days. Walk out with cash. You didn't have any real bills.
Yeah, just go back to your parents' house.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, I remember that summer being like, oh, man. I didn't do anything. I just worked. And then I had like an actual job and real bills like 4 years later. It's like, oh, fuck. I didn't do anything and it was the fucking greatest.
Yeah, that job was vacation for a summer for however long we were doing it.
It was like we went to pizza camp.
Yeah. You just had to bring people pizza and the rest of the time we hung out.
Oh man, will they have pizza camp for adults? No, that's just hanging out.
Yeah.
Pizza camp for adults. That's going away for a couple of days.
Yeah, if I'm getting my hands on pizza, I'm not bringing it to somebody else at this point. That's my pizza.
By the way, I was fucking when you were talking about delivering for two pizza places at once, I was just picturing you in your car, like a cell phone in this hand and then another one in your ear like that, just with stacks of pizzas. You just keep picking them up, but you're not able to deliver them to any of the people. It's like, I'll be right there. I just have these. Oh shit, I gotta go.
Back and forth between stores. Yeah.
Yeah, just no one ever gets pizza.
Just, where are all my red bags? The boss is saying.
That's like, you can actually do that. Just be like the worst Uber Eats driver for a night and just don't bring anyone their food.
Yeah.
And then throw that phone away.
Buy yourself a burner, make a night's worth of Uber Eats with that sweet Uber Eats money, then cash out. Hey, regular Einstein yourself there, Charles.
Oh, I was actually, because my air conditioner broke because we were delivering in the summer, and I used to keep an extra one of the red heat bags in my car, and I would shove it out the window, my driver's side window,
to catch extra wind.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I was probably destroying my gas mileage, I realize now, by putting all that extra drag.
Yeah.
But whatever. I won't say I wasn't sweating, because it was any time between January and December. But
And
it
gas
was
might have been
way
under
less.
$2 at that point, so whatever.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah, probably $2-ish. All right. Well, let's get a. We'll open a pizza restaurant. I can already speak Italian, as I've established.
That's true. Yeah, you're fluent.
We could just deliver and have somebody else run it, but pay us owner money. I don't know. You run this restaurant. I'm just gonna drive around and rock out.
Relive the glory days.
Yeah.
Speaking of relive the glory days and kind of St. Patrick's themed, I thought of this story today. It has nothing to do with anything we were talking about, but it was one of those memories that popped into my head. So me and my cousin, we used to play darts in Brooklyn, as you know, but we were at our home bar of Killarney's, and we're sitting there. It's a Monday night, so we're just watching Monday Night Football, as it wasn't our turn to play darts. And there was an older Irish man there. He's probably in his mid 60s or so, and he's just leaning over his cup and just staring at his beer. And out of nowhere, he gets up and he comes and he stands in front of me and John. He had one of those, the Irish hats. What are they called? It has like the button in the front, kind of when everyone cosplays for St. Patrick's Day. That's what they wear. It's like a newsy hat.
Yeah, like I guess like a. Yeah, newsy hat will work.
Yeah, we had one of those newsy hats
I know
on.
what you're talking about. I forget the words.
But he was like a real Irish dude wearing it. That's different than, the just wearing it on St. Patty's. But point of the story, so he takes his hat off and he puts it down on the bar and he says to me and my cousin, he goes, "I got my keys and I got my wallet." He puts them in his hat and he goes, "I want one good Irish lad to give me one shot in the," and he's pointing at his face, and his brogue is thick, so it was like I didn't really understand what he was exactly saying. I think he was saying we can punch him in the face to try to win his keys and wallet from him. One look at this guy, I could tell, A, he's done this before. This is not the first time he's offered this challenge to somebody. And B, he still has his keys and his wallet on him. So that means he probably did well the previous times that he offered this challenge. There might be a body or two in this guy's past. Like he came up the hard way wherever he came from. So me and John looked at each other and we were like, no. And he goes, "You're a smarter lad than me." And he put his hat, and he took his shit and he put his hat back on. He went back down. He just sat there and he stared at his beer. He didn't leave. He didn't acknowledge us again. It was just like, I think for one moment, he was just like, when I was their age, there would have been a fight already, or, something like that, where he wanted to. Yeah. So reliving glory days got me thinking, he definitely came over to try to get one more, or headcanon, maybe he was dying and he wanted one more before he went out. Just
wanted to get his heart rate up.
Yeah.
One good last time.
Punch in the face like the old days.
So now I'm wondering, number one, what if that's what leprechauns are really like? You have to fight them first to get whatever they have?
You got to earn that pot of gold.
Yeah. You don't just got, you find the pot of gold, and you also got to find these hands when you get here, motherfucker.
Yeah, right. It's waiting for the end, at the end of the rainbow, these hands, bitch. Excellent.
Or, other option, what if he's the opposite of what you were saying? You're like, he's still got his wallet and keys. What if he just has a box of wallets and keys that he just keeps at home just for this purpose? And there's just people walking around with costume keys and wallets.
You might be right. I didn't want to find out because, this was clearly his thing. This is what he did. Me, I have little to no experience in that thing. So I just want to, I don't want to get involved and come out on the wrong side of that.
Oh man, what if you get his wallet and you open his wallet and you look at it and inside there's an invitation to like you're one of 5, and then it gives you a date and a time. Anybody who has that card goes and they meet, and then there's like a Mortal Kombat style tournament.
Or even better, like Willy Wonka, but it's the Guinness factory. You win a ticket to get a tour of the Guinness factory, and inside there's fighting leprechauns and like the Oompa Loompas are beating the shit out, piss drunk, beating the shit out of each other.
In a quick cameo, it pans to the right, and there's 2 bears swinging Nintendos at each other. And then everyone watching will be like, "Oh shit, it's in universe! It's in the same universe, bro!"
And someone like drinks the Guinness off the tree, and someone comes out from behind a car and like stabs him 12 times, and then the Oompa Loompas sing as they carry him out as they bleed out. And
all right, so we're mixing. This sounds like we're mixing. Obviously, Willy Wonka, kind of the Family Guy Willy Wonka episode. Mortal Kombat, Beer Fest,
and the NRA in general.
And all 6 Leprechaun movies.
Well,
all right.
This one was for you, Einstein.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ray.
Ooh, shit. All right, I think that's a good place as any. Under the Guise of Science, Guise spelled Guise, at Facebook, Instagram, gmail.com, and at Twitter, we got
at Science Guise, Guise.
Guise.
Science Guise.
It sounds like if you have it just Guise, it sounds like we'll say kind of like a religion / health teacher we had in high school.
Guise.
Yeah. Guise. Watch that 2:30 bus go right by, fellas.
Very small audience, so that's gonna kill.
Right? There are gonna be 9, maybe 10 people who throw their phones with laughter.
Shit, yeah. Yeah, I'm tearing up.
Oh. Very nice.
Oh, rate
All
us,
right.
rate us, share, tell your friends.
Rate, like, subscribe.
Yeah.
And if the Patreon's not up yet, then we'll make a Venmo.
PayPal, Venmo, yeah. Just you let us know. We'll figure out a way to get your money.
Yeah, let us know how you want to pay us. Crypto.
Yeah.
Whatever you got.
Yeah.
Now that it's worthless. Cool beans. All right. Until next time, fucker.
Yeah.